The Chicago Bulls are coming off a hard-fought loss the other night versus the Houston Rockets. But one thing I've been noticing since the return of Nikola Vucevic and Patrick Williams is that Matas Buzelis' minutes been a little weird. So in today's episode, I want to talk about, will we see Matas Buzelis' minutes to continue to decrease as the Chicago Bulls continue their playoff push? Then we got another update regarding Lonzo Ball's wrist injury, and the Bulls' tough stretch continue tonight versus the Utah Jazz. And then we got some words from Auntie Goon, who left a mailbag for y'all to listen to. Y'all know we're going to talk about it all and break it down, but you got to hear the music first. Cognac Gang. Shabu's podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. If you tuned in with me today, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a great weekend. Got to celebrate my auntie's 50th birthday, and I was in that bit. Yeah. Ooh, e. Ooh, e. Shout out to my people that know about that Chicago house music. It was a time. But let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, man, and more specifically, Matas Buzelis. Matas Buzelis has been in that starting lineup for some time now, and while Nikola Vucevic and Patrick Williams was out, the Chicago Bulls relied heavily on Matas Buzelis coming in, giving them some minutes. And since these two guys have returned, you kind of see the minutes appear a little weird, in my opinion. When they first came back and the Bulls were facing off against the Indiana Pacers, Matas Buzelis had 24 minutes. That was a win. Then the Chicago Bulls went on and played the Brooklyn Nets, and Matas Buzelis got 15 minutes that game. Not to my liking per se. It is what it is. But then in the game where the Bulls were fighting hard and they were tussling, going back and forth with a young, good Houston Rockets team that is very well coached by Ime Udoka with some really, really talented players over there, we seen Matas Buzelis only log in 19 minutes versus those Rockets after pretty much seeing Matas Buzelis before those while those guys were injured in Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic. You seen Matas Buzelis log in 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 29 minutes, 36 minutes, 31 minutes, things like that. And since those guys return, you're not seeing those same consistent minutes giving to Matas Buzelis, you know what I'm saying, more than most of us would like to see him play. We think that, at least me, I believe that these opportunities in these hard-fought games while the Chicago Bulls are trying to make that push into the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? These are great opportunities for Matas Buzelis to go out there and learn how the games in the first half of the season are a lot more different, and the intensity is way more different than, say, the games after the All-Star break, where teams are trying to find their rhythm, trying to make that final push so they can get some good seeding within their respective conferences and things like that. So you kind of understand it to a degree, like, hey, my young rookie, we need you to go out there and be effective. You understand it to that degree. And then on the flip side, you look at some of the things and you be like, hey, this is kind of hurting Matas Buzelis' growth a little bit if you make that, you know what I'm saying, if you have that premise on why Matas Buzelis is not seeing the minutes that he once was seeing with Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic out. Now, there will be some pushback. I don't necessarily like it, but I kind of understand it to this degree. You got to be able to place guys out there that you can trust. I don't necessarily think that Matas Buzelis is going to hurt the Chicago Bulls' chances in trying to make that push for their seeding, because if you're looking at the standings right now, the Bulls are only one game back from the 9th seed. And it appears that Billy Donovan and the Chicago Bulls are really trying to make that push to give themselves a better opportunity when they go into the play-in. So Billy Donovan, for all talks and giggles and all that stuff, we know how he is. He's typically going to go out there and play the players that he trusts a little bit more. And in certain spots, you need a little bit more out of Matas Buzelis. Do I absolutely like it? No, but I do understand, because if we are trying to see the Chicago Bulls play their best basketball down the stretch, if Matas Buzelis is not being aggressive enough, if Matas Buzelis is not affecting the game how we need him to affect the game, you kind of understand it to that degree. Don't necessarily have to like it, but you understand, because though he is a rookie, he could very well use those minutes. The Chicago Bulls, they got other intentions than what most of us Bulls fans want to admit. These guys are going for that play-in, and they probably trying to push for that playoff spot to see the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. So you don't necessarily have to like it, but you got to at least have some type of understanding to where you're like, okay, Billy Donovan, his history with the Chicago Bulls, he's going to lean on his veteran players a lot more. He's going to lean on guys that he trusts a little bit more. And I'm not saying, I'm not coming out to say that Billy Donovan does not trust Matas Buzelis, but Matas Buzelis has to build some more trust for Billy Donovan to say, all right, you're going to go and get those 25. You're going to go and get those extra minutes. And when Billy Donovan is trotting out 10-man and 11-man rotations, it's going to be some minutes being taken away from other players. He ain't going to cut the minutes from Kobe White. He ain't going to cut the minutes from Trey Jones. You're going to give opportunities to Nikola Vucevic and Zach Collins. You see him try to trot out Jalen Smith at some point, and it was like, what? We're going with the two big lineup, and you trying to mix and match with two big man lineup. Not the best way to do it, but I guess this is what the Chicago Bulls are. So, and then imagine when Lonzo Ball comes back. It's gonna be somebody else having to bite the dust, because Lonzo Ball, you're gonna want his IQ on the basketball court. I will argue Trey Jones, that man has been putting on for a while now. He's been remaining in that starting lineup while Josh Giddey has been hurt. And when Josh Giddey comes back, somebody else got to fall back and not see a lot of minutes. So it's going to be some tough decisions that are going to be made to where people are not happy that they're not seeing more of Trey Jones or seeing more of Dalen Terry or seeing more of Julian Phillips, because we know Billy Donovan is going to go to the guys he trusts the most. And right now, I'm not 100% sure that Billy Donovan has the utmost respect, for a lack of a better term, or a lot of trust built in his young rookie to say, all right, down the stretch, in this game we battling, we need you. Because we've seen in moments to where Billy Donovan absolutely could have given Matas Buzelis opportunities to close out games, and he did not have Matas Buzelis out there within these last few games if we just taking a peek at how the games ended. It is a head scratcher when you see a closing lineup with Zach Collins look much better than a closing lineup with Nikola Vucevic, but Billy Donovan is going to go with Nikola Vucevic. Hell, there was even pushback from moving Matas Buzelis. There was even pushback for moving Nikola Vucevic back into the starting lineup in favor of Zach Collins. But this is our head coach. This is what he's going to do. He's going to do things to where not necessarily all of us are going to agree with it, but the Bulls are in the position that they're in, and this is what they're trying to do. But hey, we'll see what happens with that. Now, it did come out that the Chicago Bulls have no intentions to shut down Lonzo Ball. They have no intentions of that. It's pretty much coming down to how he feels and how much he can do within himself to feel comfortable on a basketball court with that wrist. There is even saying there's no plan to have season-ending surgery, and there's no plan to have surgery once the season ends. Now, look, you take it for what you will, but I don't trust nothing that the Bulls training staff have to say. They say guys that just need a little bit more time, and then we see guys be shut down, and this has been going on for the last few years. P. Will foot injury, he just needs to rest it. Nah, he gonna be shut down. Zach LaVine foot injury, need to rest it. Nah, he gonna be shut down. Stuff like that. We've seen those examples, so I don't really believe nothing that the Bulls coaching staff has to say at the current moment. But we'll see what happens with it. Lonzo Ball is not shut down. I'm happy to hear that. I just want to see my mans come back out there and give themselves an opportunity. But the difficult decision that's going to come out of this is, how many minutes are you going to take away from Trey Jones? Because he's been playing exceptionally well. That's going to be the number one question. who is going to bite the dust when Lonzo Ball returns, when Josh Giddey returns, and now you got to split some more minutes between guys. If those minutes are now going to be taken away, and those opportunities are going to be now taken away from Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry again, I anticipate those will be the two guys that got to bite the dust. And you might not see much of Jalen Smith after that once those guys return as well. But y'all let me know how y'all feeling about that. I'm happy that we don't have a season-ending surgery lined up right now for Lonzo Ball. But again, I don't trust the Bulls training staff. I'll just wait. I'll just wait and hope that Lonzo Ball can make his return. Now, before we get up out of here and before we get into that mailbag, we got to talk about the Bulls' tough stretch that continues tonight versus the Utah Jazz. It's a late one, y'all. It's going to be a late one. So y'all make sure y'all do whatever you got to do. Take a midday nap, get whatever before the game. Because on 9 p.m. Eastern, that's when the Bulls tip off, and it's going to be a game that we hope that the Chicago Bulls come out and whoop some behind, and then we see what happens, and hopefully we can get dubs in the chat and dubs in the columns. But we'll see. The Utah Jazz right now are losers of 9 straight. Chicago Bulls, don't fall into the trap game, dog. Do not fall into the trap game, dog. I know Danny Ainge over there with the Utah Jazz like, hey, we got to lose, gang. But you got to keep in mind that some of these players, they got pride. And you lose 9 straight, you want to get your one. You want to get your one. So the Bulls got to come into this whole matchup focused. You got to take Kobe White's words for what they are and play with a lot of physicality and meet physicality with physicality. And you hope that guys can step the hell up. You hoping that Nikola Vucevic can have a good game. Kobe White can go off, because I think that with Kobe White's driving ability going to the basket, that opens up a lot of things for this young Bulls team. And you got to play smart basketball, because at the end of that damn Rockets game, Kobe White did not make a lot of smart plays, and it cost the Bulls an opportunity to win 5 straight. So you got to take care of the ball. You got to play smart, and you got to come out there and hoop. And you cannot give this Utah Jazz team some life. Do not come out in this first quarter with lackluster energy, or you might find yourself scratching your head and taking a loss to the Utah Jazz, the losers of 9 straight. So we'll see about that one. Now, before we get up out of here, we got to listen to Auntie Goon. Auntie Goon left us a voicemail. She had some things to say about the Chicago Bulls, and she said she's standing on business. Here's the voicemail.
Never, what's the word, game ever? Uncle C, what's the word, big head? What you bald head at? But no, anyway, I just was just looking on the Bulls' schedule, trying to figure out, when the next game going to be. So I'm like, fuck that. Let me see their standards. I go to the fucking standards. Ain't no way in hell y'all just did the Bulls like this. The Orlando and Miami team we just beat, we got to play them in the motherfucking play-in. Bring y'all stupid ass here. Because guess what? Y'all know we motherfucking come. I don't know why y'all do that. And on my mama, I got 500 that the Bulls go to the motherfucking playoffs. We got to play Orlando again in Miami. Kobe White poking shit. Oh, my mama, get up or get out the way, motherfuckers, because we coming. Listen, I'm not saying this team going to the finals. Listen, I ain't even saying we're going to the second round. Well, on my mama, on my kids, I got 500. They going to the motherfucking playoff. Man, ain't all that ain't no shit. We got this. Kobe dunking shit. Look, Buzelis, Josh Giddey just been out. His motherfucking man just been going crazy. Bring y'all dumb ass here. But, hey, for all the ones that have been doubting the Bulls and saying this about Josh, saying this about the Bulls, saying this, keep that same motherfucking energy. Keep that same energy y'all got coming, because on my mama, once we beat Orlando, once we beat Miami, AC, here we come. But, yeah, damn, the AC gonna be nasty. I think we gotta play Cleveland. Oh, man. But I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. Long as we make it to the playoffs. Fuck it. Y'all know what it is. It's gonna take going. So I'm gonna get something.
Auntie Goon trying to stand on business. Look. Shout out to you, Auntie. You got a lot of faith in them right now. Look, I'm just letting it play out. For me personally, if you want to go ahead and you want to put that beard on them, that's you, my G. And I hope you know what I'm saying, be able to recoup that and be good. And I say the Bulls got an opportunity right in front of them to go ahead and take advantage and creep into the playoffs. And it's not all bad. We already know that the draft odds for them is for getting like a top 5 pick. Might as well those chances are extremely low. So making that push for the playoffs, that's all we got. That's all we got to look forward to right now. And then you still got you can look forward to the draft later on. But I will say that the way that they've been playing, it builds a lot of confidence in a young team that's trying to build themselves up and move forward. A lot of people won't necessarily like it, and that's okay. That's why you took your position, and I respect it. I can't jump off the porch like that and put 500 on the Bulls making the playoffs. That's just me. That's just me. But if they do, I think they got a strong chance of making the playoffs. You got the Miami Heat that's above you right now, the Orlando Magic, and the Hawks. I don't necessarily think they catch the Orlando Magic or the Hawks, but in that first game in the play-in, let's just say if it ends the same way that we anticipated, ending with the Bulls being at 9, the play-in game will be at home versus the Miami Heat, who just lost 7 straight and have not been really playing good basketball the last few weeks since the Jimmy Butler trade. So they give themselves a chance to win that game. And then out of Hawks and Orlando, I say it's a favorable matchup. And they give themselves an opportunity to creep in. But I think that it's going to have to come with Josh Giddey being Josh Giddey and Kobe White being on fire like he's been these last 8 games. I think that's what it's going to come down to. And Billy Donovan has to coach his tail off. And I think that all these 10-man, 11-man lineups, you're going to have to figure out who your best guys are and who's going to be able to give you an opportunity to beat an Orlando, to be competitive versus the Atlanta Hawks. And I would say right now with the stretch that they're going through right now on this West Coast trip, they got to win some games right now. Otherwise, you might find yourself being closer to this 9th seed right now as it currently stands. But if you go out there and you lose to a Phoenix, you lose to a Sacramento, you lose twice to a Los Angeles Lakers, whew, that's a tough pill to swallow. Tough pill to swallow with those losses. That's why I'm hoping Josh Giddey makes his return soon, because it's also going to be a good opportunity for him as well to go out there and be like, hey, all the criticism about me just hooping against bottom feeders, I can hoop against some of the best teams in the league as well. And that'll be a good opportunity for him. But shout out to you for calling in and leaving that voicemail, gang. We appreciate you. Over here, you already know it's all love. So thank you. We appreciate it. But that is it for us today, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure before y'all get up out of here, y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. If you want to be a part of a mailbag episode like Auntie Goon was today, call the number 773-242-9219. And that was a gentleman that was leaving a couple voicemails, but my man, I just ask that you leave your name so we can, shout you out appropriately, and then people know who you are. And then we can go ahead and make sure you get the proper recognition that you deserve for even, spending your time calling in. So make sure you leave your name, give us your take, and then say, all right, I'm up out of here. But we appreciate y'all, man, for sure. It's always love over here. But make sure you always see red, and y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.